Hello, a very good evening and a warm welcome to the news on Prime TV. I'm Iftia Abdul Kader. First, a look at tonight's major news stories. Campaigning for the re-poll in Navalapiti and Trincomalee will draw to a close at midnight today. Air flights between Sri Lanka and Europe are further impacted. Operations for the continuous distribution of fuel countrywide are continuing. Japan awards 14 scholarships to Sri Lankan students. And overseas, 6 are injured in a bomb blast at the IPL cricket match in Bangalore. And now for the news in detail. President Rajapaksa also joins in witnessing the Fox Hill Supercross Motor Rally in Diatalava. The competition was staged at the Fox Hill track at Nariakanda on grand scale today. The President joined in the inauguration as a special guest. Yoshita and Rohita Rajapaksa, sons of the President, were competitors at the event. Campaigning for the Navalapiti and Kumburupiti re-poll on April 20th will draw to an end by midnight today, 48 hours before the election day. The election secretariat said all propaganda work should end at midnight today. Police have made arrangements to remove all posters, banners and cutouts after the deadline. The distribution of official poll cards for the re-poll at 37 centres in Navalapiti polling division of the Kandy district and the Kumburupiti polling centre in the Trincomalee district is currently underway. It will continue until Monday the 19th. There are 50,948 eligible voters in Navalapiti polling division and 977 can vote at the Kumburupiti polling booth. Police spokesman SP Prashant Jayakodi said the security at the polling areas has been tightened with the deployment of additional policemen, army and STF personnel. Maximum security is provided to areas where the polling will take place. The police chief has instructed the officers to take dire action against those who flout the laws. Obstruction still persists with regard to flights between Sri Lanka and Europe. Air passengers have been advised to refrain from arriving at the Katunayake International Airport without making inquiries from airline companies. For the second consecutive day today, restrictions prevailed around British airspace, which has been hit by potentially dangerous volcanic ash drifting in from Iceland. The problem appeared to be spreading across Europe, with Scandinavian countries looking particularly vulnerable as the wind carrying the ash changed direction. The worst affected countries in mainland Europe include France, Germany and Poland. The National Air Traffic Services described the situation as dynamic and subject to change. The European Air Traffic Control Organization said the situation was as bad as on Thursday or worse, with the number of lost flights expected to rise to 17,000. According to Katunayake Airport authorities, this has resulted in the obstruction of air travel between Sri Lanka and Europe. Several flights that were to operate to Paris and Frankfurt had to be cancelled. All flights due to and from London were cancelled. The Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminal Company has said that they had not received any reports of a delay in the distribution of fuel from any part of the country. It said that fuel distribution is normal countrywide. There were rumors of a delay in the distribution of fuel in several areas during the past few days. The Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminal Company said there was a high consumption of fuel during the festive season. Stocks depleted rapidly in certain areas as consumers had collected fuel on a large scale during the New Year season. Accordingly, the public relations officer of the company, Nisanka Jayawardena, said they increased the normal distribution percentage by 20. He pointed out that they expected a high consumption of fuel for the new year. In parallel, they sent sufficient stocks to filling stations. He pointed out with responsibility that the fuel distribution, which stood at 70% last morning, was increased to 90% by the evening. He emphasized that they dispatched more stocks to areas such as Badulla, Kandy and Dambulla. The Tamil National Alliance should work in collaboration with the government to address the problems of the Tamil polity. Eastern Chief Minister Sivanesa Thurai Chandrakanthan has pointed out that the government had received a clear mandate. As the Tamil National Alliance always opposed the government, they were unable to find solutions to the problems of the Tamil civilians. But there is a fine opportunity for them to unite with the government and sort out problems of the Tamil civilians. Every community would enjoy a bright future by working in conformity to the laws and regulations of the government of a democratic country. He is of the view that the TNA should support the government and solve the problems of their people. The development of the rural road network in the Western Province is continuing unabated. The Western Province Road Development Program is afoot under the financial grants provided by the province. The concreting of rural roads in the Biyagama electorate has been launched on the financial grants provided by Western Provincial Councillor Shalita Vijayasundara. Work on 30 roads has already been completed. The expenditure incurred was 20 million rupees. Mr. Vijayasundara said that his objective was to develop all rural roads in the Biyagama electorate. The government will continue with its program of providing computer laboratories to schools in rural areas under the Mahinda Chintana. Computer laboratories are being provided to rural schools of the Mahara Educational Zone within the Gampaha district. It was the Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa who presided at a ceremony organized to declare open the computer laboratory of the Ambagaspitiya Mahavidyalaya. This college hitherto did not enjoy such a facility. As such, the students were deprived of taking to information technology. But these students now have the privilege of pursuing studies related to information technology within the village school itself with the opening of the new computer laboratory. Already, computer facilities have been afforded to 30 schools within the Mahara division. Lasantha Alagiyawana was present on this occasion. You're watching the news on Prime TV and still here at home. The government of Japan has awarded higher education scholarships to 14 Sri Lankan students under its Monbukaka Kusho Scholarship Scheme 2010. These scholarships were awarded under the categories of postgraduate, undergraduate and College of Technology. Selection of candidates was done through an examination. Interviews were conducted jointly by the Japanese Embassy and the Ministry of Higher Education. An orientation program in preparation for their departure to Japan was held at the Japanese Embassy recently. It was presided by Ambassador Kunio Takahashi with the participation of Dr. Mrs. Lalani Yatavara, past student and member of the Japanese Graduates, as well as Sachit Lianage, a current Monbukaka Kusho student studying at the University of Electrocommunications in Tokyo on a temporary visit to Sri Lanka. The government of Japan provides international students around the world with an opportunity of pursuing higher studies in Japanese universities and colleges under the Monbukaka Kusho Scholarship Scheme annually. Preparations are afoot to hold the first ever Jaffna International Trade Fair 2010 titled Your Gateway to Yalpanam. It will open at the Jaffna Central College tomorrow. The three-day event is organized by the Lanka Exhibition and Conference Services in collaboration with the Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Sri Lanka. It aims to attract the business community from all over the country. The organizers expect the event to provide an ideal opportunity for the business community from all over the country to meet with the local entrepreneurs and to forge new business links with the local community.